Good morning, everyone. I want to welcome you to a session today on basic neuroscience of complex PTSD. I'm Wale Ladipo. I'm lead educator at Mind Body Breath Organization. We specialize in neuroscience-informed education. We believe that psychoeducation is empowerment. Psychoeducation is a very powerful bridge upon which lasting recovery could be built. We've been doing this a long time, and it's a pleasure to have you in the training. This is a little session that lays a good foundation of complex PTSD. As the name implies, it is the word complex that differentiates it from our standard PTSD that we get from trauma. In other words, it is not linear. It is not just symptoms based, as in the standard PTSD that we have. But this is complex. In other words, sometimes you can't put your finger on what is the situation with somebody with complex PTSD, because they could be well put together in other areas of life. Maybe they're functioning at the highest level in some aspect of life, but the other areas you struggle to figure out whether it's the same person. So complex PTSD is integrated into the fabrics of who we are, as opposed to standard PTSD that is often characterized by some key symptoms like flashbacks, like avoidance of thoughts and memories of traumas, and hypervigilance. All those things could be included in complex PTSD presentation, but the complexity of complex PTSD makes it harder to differentiate it from who you are. It's integrated into personality, into perceptions, into neuroception, into interoception, into your relational capacity and ability to self-regulate when you're triggered. So welcome to our complex PTSD little session. Maybe some of you have attended our training in the past. Thanks for joining me again. If this is your first time, this is a lovely little session to get started with. And hopefully we'll see you again in the future. We have the one session, but I'm going to break it in two. But I just want to start with this little intro, just in case you are here for yourself. First of all, complex PTSD is not your identity. It is not your personality, and it is not weakness. It is what happens when your brain and the nervous system have to survive too much for too long without enough safety. So the nervous system is being recalibrated to overly recruit a defensive state. So we have a safety state and a defense state. So if the nervous system is stuck in defense, it is tough. It is very tough to lead a well-adjusted life. Therefore, we start to have hypervigilance, shutdown, emotional overwhelm, people pleasing, numbness. These are not character flaws. They are survival adaptations. This is important for people to understand, because self-blame, self-criticism, they are very common. And when you understand the neuroscience behind complex PTSD, shame reduces and healing becomes possible. So again, complex PTSD is not your identity. It is the nervous system stuck in survival mode. And also, one of the things that we hear people say to us more often, they've left that abusive relationship, they've left that job situation, whatever it is that has been triggering them massively. They know they're safe now, but their body doesn't believe it. And that's because trauma doesn't just live in your thinking or in your thoughts. It lives in the brain's alarm system. We're going to be looking at the alarm system. It's got different names. Sometimes we call it the security guard. So if trauma lives in the alarm system, it just sets the alarm off all the time. When the amygdala, which is the name of the part of the brain that is often referred to the alarm stage, the alarm department, or the alarm system, when the amygdala is on high alert, the thinking brain goes offline. You can't even think properly. The thinking brain is supposed to regulate your emotional brain, but it's offside. And your body reacts before you can reason. So it is not a reason problem. It is a survival problem. It's not a mindset issue. It's a nervous system issue. And the good news is the brain can rewire thanks to the neuroplastic effect of the nervous system. That's why recovery is possible, because of the neuroplastic effect of the nervous system.